we're not interested.
Good morning, Mr. Bivens.
Good morning, students. It's nice to see you all. Welcome to my class. Now sit down!
Okay.
All right. Enough of that. Today we actually want to talk a little bit about the democracy of the classroom. That's what this class is about, is citizenship. And so I think one of the things we need to talk about is citizenship in this space and what that means and what democracy can possibly mean in the classroom. That may not be what you're expecting. You're thinking democracy means something out there. It means something when you vote. It means something when you go to a meeting of the city council, different organizations. But does it mean anything here when we're students, when I'm a teacher? What could that possibly mean to us in this little bitty room, and why would it matter? So what I'd like you to do today is think about two separate things. I want you to talk about, just sort of think about this room that we're in right now and how we could possibly make it more democratic. And the two ways I want you to think about that are around issues of space and around issues of communication. So I just take a couple of minutes, break up into small groups, however you feel comfortable, and take about 3 minutes and just talk about those two issues and think about ways that possibly we could change this space, the way that we've got it structured, and about the way that we communicate. How does the way the space is structured help us communicate or not help us to communicate? So just take a couple of minutes, think about those things. If there's other things that come out of your discussions as well, let's just talk about them. Grab some paper, draw some pictures. If you think of some other ways we could arrange the space, I think this is going to be opening that possibilities of participation. We can actually redesign what we're doing here. We can redesign the way that we communicate. We can redesign the space in some way. So I think we just need to be creative about that and see what happens. All the possibilities are open to us. Bettina, do you have a question?
What do you mean by space?
This enclosed room, this space. Can we change the shape of the room? Probably not. Are there other elements of this room that we can change? What's not nailed down? What can we throw out the windows? What can we move around? How can you move me around? How can I move all of you around? Is this taken for granted? Did the creator of the universe just say students have to sit in rows and I have to stand in the front? You know, have you been in other situations where things were done differently? Would you like to see them done differently? What would be empowering to you if you feel empowered in the classroom ever?
Can you define what would you understand, what we must understand by citizenship and democratic spaces? Because we have not learned, it's our first class, and we didn't study what does citizenship mean, and you are asking us to be citizens. I don't know what you have.
I want you to be creative, Carlos. I want you to apply your experience to this classroom. You bring more than you contain, more than I contain as well.
But we came here to learn.
Do you think you can't learn from your peers?
We came here to learn from the teacher, no?
Yes.
I think you can learn from yourselves. You'll learn from me eventually. Probably not as much as you think. Probably a lot more from yourselves in the long run. What do you think?
So
I was
expensive.
just wondering, what's the point of moving everything around? Why should we want to move around?
Nobody's ever going to move everything around. If you like it this way, we can keep it this way. But I think I want you to think of other possibilities, ways of organizing this room. Let's talk about, let's go take a couple of minutes, take 5 minutes, take 3 minutes in this circumstance, and talk among yourselves about how we can do things differently.
Is it only in terms of physical space, or can we also establish new ground rules?
Yeah, I think if you want to change the relationships, whatever you want to talk about that you think is impeding your ability to learn, your ability to participate, I think that's all fair game.
Okay.
So we can think about those things as well.
Okay.
And I'll hand out some papers. Just if you want to draw some new ways of arranging, new ways of relating to each other.
Well, the artist, in-house artist does that.
No, I think when you say we can learn from ourselves, I think our experiences are very different and could be also unequal. So there is inbuilt inequality in our experiences, and that will show, when we are wanting to when we are thinking of more democratic space.
Well, I think that's good to learn in small groups. You'll be able to share it. Otherwise, it's just me telling you what a democratic space is. You'll have one opinion of what a democratic space is. If you have a small group, you get 3 or 4 perspectives on it. Then you all share back, and we know everyone's perspective. And we come out more equal than we arrived, knowing what everybody thinks as opposed to knowing just what I think.
So I think it's good.
Let's try another phrase. From a
Why do
different.
you have that?
It's not a good idea if you can't see everybody's
Some
faces.
alternative visions for the classroom.
Everybody needs to
Alternative
see
ground
their
rules.
faces when they're talking. Because a lot of what we say when we talk, we aren't saying the loud words.
We want to draw on people that
Without
are
hands.
Sure, sure. And the ground.
And if I'm talking and you're sitting facing that way, and you're not looking at me, then it's much easier for you to listen to me.
Lots of options.
So I feel like it's a
Very creative.
The
The upperclassmen in the
How
careers.
much we are more democratic?
person in the classroom because you.
What is undemocratic about this?